A carrot or a stick? When it comes to relations with Russia, the US presidential candidates could hardly be more different. John McCain's belligerent stance on Russia is nothing new. After all, this presidential candidate advocates kicking Russia out of the G8. Yet his foreign policy advisor says the Arizona senator will make relations with Russia more predictable.
John McCain is the person who can provide the stability and the predictability for the U.S.-Russian relations. And McCain recognizes that fight against terrorism is important, that nuclear proliferation is important, but also he emphasizes the nature of these societies, the coalition for democracy that can be created worldwide.
There is at least one thing in common between the Russian President Dmitry Medvedev and the US presidential candidate Barack Obama. Both used to teach constitutional law. Obama's foreign policy advisor says that's enough to start talking.
Russia needs to walk back into the international community. And Barack Obama has made clear in his statements that while he condemns Russia's actions, that nonetheless he will hold the door open to Russia to re-enter the international community, to end its self-isolation, and to get back on a pragmatic track of integration.
One of the most contentious issues, the US missile defense system in Europe, has also found its way into the discussions. McCain's advisor says his candidate will stick to the initial plan, but may need a helping hand of the media.
International media is an important battlefield, and if we give up that instrument, it's going to be, we'll pay the high price for that. Okay. And the example of this 10 missile interceptors, that people don't know and don't understand, that these are not threatening the Russian nuclear arsenal at all. Did we communicate that to the Russian people? I don't think so.
Obama's campaign says there will be no rush in setting up interceptors and radar in Europe.
Barack Obama has stated that he will support research and development and testing and pursuit of a missile defense capability, because in the world we live in, it's a serious risk. However, he's also said that you deploy such a system only once it's been proven, it's been tested and proven to work.
While both advisors offered plenty of criticism of the Russian leadership, many in the audience say they would prefer more specifics on how policy toward Russia may change.
Neither presentation struck me as dealing with the issues with a degree of sophistication that is necessary.
While the US-Russian relations are now at their lowest point since the end of the Cold War, many in the business community suggest the US presidential election presents the best chance of changing the political climate. Most of the businessmen here say the current plunge in the US-Russian relations hasn't yet affected their operations. There's hardly anyone in that room who would not call on both Washington and Moscow to stop yelling at each other and finally start talking. Oksana Boyko, RT.